What's up everybody, this is Master Ian Gamer, and following all the excitement from the recent Torbjorn rework and all the other hero changes which have gone to the PTR, I wanted to take just half a step back and talk about some of the other big things Jeff Kaplan talked about in the latest developer update video. He covered a number of important topics, such as Blizzard's stance on the current state of Overwatch events, the third upcoming new social feature, as well as quality of life changes which are going to be coming to the game. So I just wanted to share some of my thoughts about the things he talked about, and see just what sort of future we could be in for. So to start, the first thing he talked about after the hero changes was the brand new improvements to the colorblind mode. Now, I am not colorblind personally, so I've never messed around with these. However, I do know that quite a few people have had issues with Overwatch's colorblind mode basically since the game launched. Again, I'm not the person to tell you how or why the existing mode is unideal for colorblind people, but I know that this is going to be an amazing improvement for those who do suffer from it, so I gotta say this is a very welcome change. As for what exactly is going to be added with this, it sounds like they're going to be giving more options for people with different kinds of colorblindness, to give the player the option to sort of fine-tune the in-game visuals in order to best fit their own situation. While it has been a long time coming, it is awesome to hear that the devs are finally getting around to try and improve this feature. Now, moving on to something that will probably apply to a few more people, we have the current state of Overwatch events. Now, Jeff Kaplan did give us a little teaser for the upcoming Halloween event, which was pretty quickly overshadowed by the leak of several, if not all, of the new skins we're going to be getting. If you didn't hear about that, I made a video on it, and you can check that out through the card on screen. However, the much more interesting thing he talked about, at least in my opinion, regarding Overwatch events, is the developer's own stance on basically how events should be treated. Of course, following the summer games, there was quite a bit of disappointment due to the relatively low number of cosmetics added, as well as the fact that we just got Lucio Ball again for the third year in a row. And while Jeff did say that they will be adding more cosmetics every year, he also specified that they don't intend to be adding brand new game modes every time around. In fact, it sounds like they're pretty satisfied with just slightly improving the current modes we have and otherwise letting them be. Now, to be honest, I kind of have to agree with Jeff on this. I realize that people like getting fresh new modes and new things to do in game, but when you compare the amount of development time it makes to create these new game modes to that of what goes into making new heroes, new balance changes, quality of life changes, optimization, social features, I really think the developers are better off spending time focusing on core aspects of the game as opposed to just limited time seasonal events. I actually talked about this in one of my other videos where I was going in depth about the future of events and what we're likely going to be seeing, and Jeff did sort of reaffirm my suspicions in the developer update by saying that they don't plan on introducing brand new events or making major changes to the ones that exist. Limited time game modes, again, are fun, but they're not supposed to be these tremendous aspects of the game. The game's focus will always be on the core modes of quick playing competitive, as well as trying to focus on heroes and balancing them. Now, I'm sure quite a few of you will have your own opinions on this, and will likely disagree with the perspective that me and Jeff seem to share, so definitely be sure to let me know your thoughts about it down in the comments below. While I think getting new sports-themed game modes for the summer games per se would be a fun addition, I would much rather have Blizzard focusing on better balance changes, quality of life updates, and things like new maps and heroes. Now, on a similar note, he did also talk about the third new social feature, which was originally scheduled to be releasing sometime around now. However, he did confirm in this video that the social change has in fact been delayed until at least 2019. Now, honestly, I wasn't that surprised to hear this. We of course haven't gotten really any word on this new social feature since it was first announced back in late spring. And even though he did mention the feature and that it was being delayed, he still didn't specify what exactly the new social system would be. Now, personally, I'm still strongly convinced that it'll be some kind of new guild or clan system, and I even made a video talking about how exactly a clan system would work in a game like Overwatch. You can check that video out through the card on screen, but otherwise, it does sound like we're just gonna have to kind of sit and wait to see what ends up happening. We might get a little more information about this feature coming up at BlizzCon in November, but otherwise, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't hear about this feature again until 2019. Either way, it's sad to hear that it was in fact delayed because I know I was super excited to see what it would end up being, but if Blizzard thinks they need to take the extra time in order to make the new feature worthwhile and good enough to actually put in game, then I trust that they're probably making the right decision. It is unfortunate that they had an original release date for it and had to delay it, but but I guess that's just the nature of being a game developer. Technical difficulties are always bound to arise. So overall, I think this was actually a really good developer update. We of course haven't heard from them in quite a long time. The last developer update we got was for the release of Wrecking Ball onto PTR back in late June. That was about 3 months ago, so it's nice that we finally get a bit of an update, especially since they haven't even been that active on the forums during that time. The reason for this now definitely seems to be because they were very busy with things like the social feature, which ended up getting delayed, as well as things like the Torbjorn rework and a ton of the other changes which are on the PTR currently. Most impressive of all though, I think, was just their response to the feedback for the Summer Games event. Since it was pretty negative, but Blizzard went ahead and said, hey, this is what we're doing, this is our stance on it, we're gonna do what we think is best. And of course they do always listen to feedback, they're not completely cutting themselves off from us. It's very clear that they are interested in making a game that we actually enjoy, and that's why I trust that they're making the right decision when it comes to balance changes, optimization, etc., instead of focusing on just events specifically. But let me know your thoughts about this latest developer update video down in the comments below. Of the things he talked about, which are your favorites? Are you most excited for the Torbjorn rework, or are you more interested in hearing more about the upcoming social feature? Regardless, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and share it with a friend if you really liked it. Subscribe and hit the bell to keep up with all my future Overwatch content, and follow me on Twitter for fun polls and channel updates. This is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.